should be good to go.
Great. Hi, Hawks. It's Brooke from the Career Studio, and it's my pleasure to be with representatives from the Society for Professional Marketing Services, Connecticut. When I first got an email from one of the panelists, I was so thrilled that we might bring to you some ideas around career pathways that you might not have heard of before, but that are very much tied to some of our majors here on the University of Hartford campus. So with that, I just want to get right to it and make sure you get to hear from these phenomenal panelists who are going to share with you their own career pathways into the areas of marketing that support architecture, engineering, and construction industries. So we're going to start with Marta.
Hi, so yeah, my name is Marta Dabrowski. I'm a marketing manager for WSP USA Inc. I'm also currently the president for the SMPS Connecticut chapter. I graduated from the University of Connecticut with a degree in marketing.
And I'm Caitlin Porter. I am a marketing coordinator also at WSP USA Inc. I'm currently a director on the board of SMPS Connecticut and the chair for the communications committee. I graduated from UConn as well with a degree in communications and a minor in sociology and another minor in gender and sexuality studies.
I'm Julia DeFrancis. I'm a marketing coordinator with BL Companies, and I am currently president-elect of SMPS Connecticut. I actually started out as our first ever student member about 9 years ago now, and I'm getting ready to be president in the fall. So I've really run the gamut of roles in this organization. And hearing that, you might be surprised to know that I don't have a marketing degree. My degrees are in English and philosophy, and I got them from Southern Connecticut State University.
Hi, I'm Luke Glendenning from Turner Construction Company in Shelton, Connecticut. I am a marketing manager there. I also serve on the SMPS board and programs chair and am the student pathway coordinator. And like Julia, I have a communications degree, but not a marketing degree. I never took one marketing class. And so that's something to be said.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Washington. I am the Director of Marketing and Diversity, Equity, Inclusion at HRP Associates. We're a nationwide environmental consulting firm. I'm the immediate past president for the SMPS Connecticut chapter. And I actually joined the industry 20 years ago as a 19-year-old. I was right out of high school. And I actually didn't go to college until I was well into my career. So I actually got college fully paid for, which was great. And I have I majored in business management and marketing management.
Great. Thank you. I love hearing about the diverse ways in which you all got into the industry. And it sounds as though that's probably a pretty typical story of many people who are members. With that, I'd love to hear more about the organization. I know our students probably would too. What you do, what you offer, who you work with, and I'd love for you to share your beautiful presentation with us.
Yes, so I'll go ahead and I'll share our presentation right now. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we're so excited to be here today. Thank you for giving us the chance to talk with you about some of the career opportunities that are available in the architecture, engineering, and construction industry, or also known as the AEC industry, that you might not currently be aware of. And we're also excited to share with you some of the information on how the Society for Marketing Professional Services, specifically the SMPS Connecticut chapter, can help you start on your career path in this industry. So I'm just going to give you a quick background on SMPS, because you've heard we're all heavily involved in SMPS, we're all on the board. So SMPS is 100% volunteer run. We're an industry association that's comprised of a diverse community of marketing and business development professionals, technical professionals, students, principals that work together to move the architecture, engineering, and construction industries forward. And today we're going to be talking about the different career opportunities and pathways that exist in this industry, especially when it comes to marketing and business development. So before we do that, I'm going to pass it over to Julia and Luke to talk a little bit about what exactly is the AEC industry.
Thanks, Marta. So the AEC industry is made up of architecture, engineering, and construction, and it encapsulates all the services that are needed to bring a construction project to fruition. While you might not be familiar with the specifics of this industry, you're definitely familiar with the end result because our projects touch every aspect of daily life. So for example, architects create buildings, the places we work, the places we live, the places we use every day. Architecture specifically involves the design of buildings and their interiors, but it also includes the engineering that supports those buildings. So at my company, we actually include things like mechanical, electrical, and structural engineering under the architecture umbrella because they're an integral part of building design. Architects need structural engineers to make sure the building doesn't fall down, mechanical engineers to design HVAC systems and plumbing, and electrical engineers to make sure that the building has power. None of these services happen in a vacuum, and they're all necessary to create a functional building. Then in addition to buildings, we have services that are concerned with outside infrastructure. These are things like roads, highways, bridges, landscaping, stormwater and drainage systems. You know how great it is when it rains a lot and the road doesn't flood? That's engineering. These systems are designed by people like civil engineers, traffic engineers, and landscape architects. And then another part of the AEC industry includes services you don't necessarily think about when you think about this industry. So land surveying, environmental science. You know, you can't renovate a school that's built in 1970 without having environmental scientists test, identify, and remove the asbestos that is definitely there. You can't build on a lot without having surveyors map out where your property line is. These services are also a really integral part of this industry. Now, in general, the AE part of the industry is what happens before construction starts. The designs and specifications that architects and engineers put together is what they share with construction companies, who then take the designs and create and build and essentially finish the project.
Right. So as Julia said, all that great stuff that they do in the architecture firms and engineering and design teams, the construction managers take all that, bring it to fruition, and build these buildings and make them come to life. So that's what we do as construction managers. More specifically, we plan, coordinate, budget, supervise the construction projects from start to finish. We work in main offices and also on project sites where these buildings are being built. And like I said, we work with the architects and the designers. We analyze their drawings and their specs and their CAD drawings and make sure that everything is sufficient enough to build and it makes sense and there's no problems in the field. And when we do that, we use project managers, project estimators, accounting, purchasers, people who go out and bid the project, estimate, make sure that we have enough money to do it. And then when all that's done, we hope that it's all built on time and on schedule in the field. So that's really what the construction manager's role is in the AEC industry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luke. So yeah, as Luke and Julia described, there really are a lot of different areas that are involved in the industry, and it covers a lot of different things. And that does translate to a lot of career opportunities. So typically when you think of architecture, engineering, construction, the traditional careers that kind of come to mind, are architects, engineers, drafters, planners, environmental specialists, like Julia mentioned, surveyors. And those are a big component of the opportunities within the industry. But there are also other opportunities outside of that are really open to anyone with any background, any major. And this includes marketing, business development, communications, and services that support the business functions of these AEC firms. So through SMPS, as we've kind of grown our community and kind of built it through our organization, one thing that we kind of noticed as a common thread in our profession is that most of the people that are involved in marketing and business development for these AEC firms fell into their roles by accident. we kind of took the long way to get there. These weren't really opportunities we were aware of when we were graduating high school, when we were graduating college. I know myself, even as a marketing degree, a marketing major, this was not an industry that was like on my list. This was not something on my radar when I was applying to jobs. But we want to kind of change that narrative. So we want to make sure that students are aware of the opportunities that are available in this industry. So even if you don't plan on being an architect or an engineer or going into construction, there are so many amazing career opportunities available in marketing and business development and in these support services with real potential for growth. So even if you look at the marketing career path that we have here, usually you would start as a marketing assistant, marketing coordinator, and then you can grow as your career grows, as your skills develop. So you can progress to a senior coordinator, to a manager, to a director, to a chief marketing officer, and even a principal of the firm you work for. And these career paths provide a real, like I said, real career opportunity and real growth, and also put you in the front row, in the front seat to the leadership of the companies that you would work for, since they're so closely tied to the business functions and overall strategies of these firms. So one thing that I wanted to show you too is some of the opportunities that are currently available out there. So this is an example of what's currently posted to the SMPS CT Job Bank. So as you can see, there's marketing coordinator opportunities, graphic designers, communication managers. So these are opportunities that are out there right now, and these are opportunities that people are applying for. So like I said, regardless of what you're studying, regardless of what you're majoring in, look into these jobs in the AEC industry, because a lot of the skills that you might already have as a student can translate really well into these roles. And Caitlin is going to talk about that in a little bit more detail.
Thanks, Marta. So as we were saying, there are countless ways to find your career in the AEC industry. And in fact, many of the skills that you're developing as a student are critical to the success of an AEC marketer. So your interpersonal and team building skills, your time management skills, and your attention to detail might seem like small things, but when you put those things together, that's what it really takes for a marketer to excel. Even your reading comprehension and writing and editing skills that you gain during your college courses can translate perfectly to proposal development and understanding clients' needs. And in fact, this also applies to things that aren't necessarily academic. So your knack for getting a lot of likes on your social media posts might actually give you a leg up when it comes to learning the ins and outs of corporate social media. So with a job in AEC marketing, the skills that you already have can really grow into the ability to network successfully, to develop that winning proposal with awesome graphics, and to ultimately help build the business of your firm. SMPS Connecticut is really here to help you every step of the way. For me personally, my involvement in SMPS has been constant, almost from day one of my marketing career, which really started almost 8 years ago. I've had multiple jobs at multiple engineering firms, and I've even worked in 2 different states. And throughout all those experiences, SMPS has been a constant for me. It's been a supportive community for me. It's helped me learn a ton and develop my career. And in fact, it even led either directly or indirectly to more than one of those jobs that I had. So those connections that I made have been really beneficial. And that's the case for so many AEC marketers. SMPS Connecticut offers engaging programs. We offer free education workshops for students. And we also have mentorship cohorts to get you all the career support that you need. We're committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we pride ourselves on being open and a respectful community for all of our members and actually beyond our membership. Our volunteer leadership opportunities, which, as we said, we've all taken full advantage of, have really helped our members grow in huge ways in every stage of their careers. And for our students, we offer the SMPS Connecticut Student Pathway Program, which will help students make the transition from being in school full-time to being a full-time AEC marketer. So Alicia is going to tell you a little bit more about that program.
Great, thank you, Caitlin. So we started the Student Pathway Program because we know from experience that many, many people do not know the career opportunities in this field. I started in this industry at 19, and it was simply out of luck that I found the job listing. Because of my involvement with SMPS, I was able to grow a career, and now I am the Director of Marketing and Diversity for my firm, and also a shareholder. Please remember, as Marta mentioned, you can have a career in marketing in the AEC industry, a lucrative one, even if you are not majoring in marketing. If you wonder about what job you can get with the major you are in, you should probably be considering joining SMPS now. Your membership is free, and we will get into the details on those membership benefits shortly. To the engineering, architecture, and construction majors who are watching this, you need to join SMPS too, and here's why. Once you are hired into an AEC firm, you will be tasked with more than designing and writing reports. You will have to write proposals, present to clients and prospects, and understand the business's strategic marketing goals. And your promotions will be based on this. These aren't typical classes you take when you are going for engineering, architecture, or a construction degree. But not to worry, join SMPS now, and you will get all the tools you need to be above the competition when you're applying for your first job. But really, regardless of what your major is, having a job after you graduate is the goal. And in order to achieve that, you have to build a network to set yourself up for success. So I will pass it on to Luke to go over the student member benefits. Luke?
Thanks, Alicia. As Alicia just laid out, there are tremendous benefits to the Student Pathway Program, which will help you on your career path. Namely, once a student joins SMPS, they'll be assigned an advisor who will be their point person and advocate, answering any questions they may have. The student's free membership will include access to free monthly education workshops, which are really great, specifically getting into graphic design through programs like InDesign, Photoshop, even Microsoft Outlook to refine your email and organization skills, access to a mentorship program, opportunities to satisfy any credit hours needed to graduate your school, and direct access to paid and unpaid internship positions. Moving on to professional development, which is really the key, as Caitlin earlier and Alicia hit on. By being an SMPS member, students will be able to refine and develop their resumes, make them speak to what a potential client is looking for, or employee. LinkedIn refinement and development on their profile page, professional headshots, and many other things. So these are really the benefits of joining SMPS and what can be achieved through the Student Pathway Program. Lastly, building your network. It's the key to success in your industry, and that's what each student will gain by being a member. You'll learn how to build your valuable network through all these skills, and it'll be truly beneficial.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luke. Yeah, so like Luke and Alicia said, there's a lot of benefits and development opportunities that we can offer to students looking to get into this industry. So I'm going to share a quick video with you so you can get an idea of what being part of SMPS might be like.
Looking for new opportunities for your business? Interested in professional development? SMPS Connecticut has the resources you're looking for. We're ready to take your career to new heights, so let's go. With more than 100 members, we're not only for marketers. We're engineers, architects, scientists, designers, consultants, and principals on a mission to advocate for, educate, and connect leaders in the building industry through engaging in educational events and workshops. We have a diverse and equitable environment where all of our members have a chance to contribute and grow their careers. SMPS Connecticut offers a variety of ways for you to get involved, virtually and in person, and flourish as a professional in the AEC industry.
When I joined the programs committee, I was right out of college, new into the marketing world, into just the business world. And I grew a ton in just networking and how to interact with people in the business world.
It's really allowed my skills to grow in terms of leading, planning events.
Our education committee offers monthly education sessions that are free for students and SMPS members from anywhere in the country. Anyone can come learn with us, including non-members.
Sessions cover a wide variety of topics relevant to AEC marketing for all career levels.
Our workshops are taught by industry leaders, and they're a great opportunity for networking with the best in the biz. We encourage all committee volunteers to lead sessions to improve their leadership and event planning skills while working as a team to design a fun and interactive calendar of events.
Our job bank is where we promote AEC marketing and business development opportunities to targeted audiences of the best professionals in the industry.
Our mentorship committee provides SMPS Connecticut members and students a platform to foster mentorship protege relationships for those working or seeking a career in the AEC industry.
Membership. Our philosophy is recruit, retain, engage. That's where our membership committee comes in. How do we achieve this? By welcoming new members and providing them the support and resources they need for business and professional development.
We love to brainstorm ideas.
Especially over our breakfast committee meetings at the diner.
Join us and the over 100 Connecticut SMPS members.
Benefits of membership include industry resources, professional development, business development, and lifelong business and personal relationships.
Our philosophy is simple. We enjoy SMPS for the educational opportunities, the networking, and just the plain fun of it all.
It's an opportunity to get out of the office and expand your horizons.
Over 100 SMPS Connecticut members can't be wrong.
Build your network and have fun.
Come join us.
So I hope that gives you a nice overview of what SMPS is all about. But also, if you don't think SMPS might be the right fit for you, I encourage you to look into other AEC industry associations, some of which are shown here. Also, if you're looking to get basically into any industry, take a look and see if there are any associations or organizations available. It's really a great way to network, meet potential employers, meet your future coworkers, really, expand your knowledge and gain an edge over other people who might be applying for the same positions you are. So we just really want to thank you for your time. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully this got, you got introduced to a couple career opportunities you might not have thought of, given you some ideas on how to, how to progress, what your next steps might be. We did include a link in the presentation here if you want to join SMPS or learn a little bit more about it, and then also to register for upcoming workshops. So like we said earlier, our workshops are free to all students. So even if you don't end up being a member of SMPS, you can still attend these for free at any time. And then also, if you do want to connect with us, here's a QR code you can scan. We do have a dedicated Instagram account for students, so you can follow us there. Or if you want to get in touch with us directly to learn more, you can send an email to student@smpsct.org. Again, thank you so much. Oh, Brooke, I think you're muted.
I was. Thanks for that. That was incredibly comprehensive, and I can only imagine how many of our students, might have been wondering how they were going to apply some of their skills and perhaps transfer them into a career that they weren't really sure of. And this provides not just one path, but so many. So just so many different directions you can go based on the 3 industries you support, and then all the varied ways, marketing, business development, design that you spoke of. Would one of you be willing to share your own career path and perhaps what you thought you might be going into when you first started your career, perhaps what you aspired to do, and how you found yourself growing as a professional through your participation in this industry? Not all at once.
Go first?
I know, exactly. Don't all try and go at once now.
I mean, I'm ready to go first, but my story's atypical for this industry. So
I think that's important for people to hear. So yeah, go for it, Julia.
So I might be the only person who grew up knowing this was an industry and an opportunity for marketing, because my mother's been a marketer in this industry for like 35 years now. So when I was getting my English degree, I knew that I was probably going to go into this industry and use it there. It was also where I knew people. So I was always constantly going to work with my mom and going to conferences with her and all that kind of stuff. So I had this big network of people before I even started college. And then when I graduated after being a student member, it was even more so. So most people, I think, tend to fall into it, but I was, intentionally went into this industry.
That's great. And you chose to apply, or you're able to apply your English skills, I imagine. A lot of people might be like, oh, I just left English behind, but I imagine it's actually quite useful for you.
Yeah, writing's a huge part of this industry. We do things like write proposals. I also just, moments ago, actually before this call started, submitted an article to a engineering publication that's going to be published in the spring. So there's actually a lot of opportunities to write if you're doing something like an English degree.
Great. Thanks for sharing that, Julia. Anyone else want to share some unexpected ways in which they...
Kind of a peculiar story. I'll make it quick. It's similar to Julia's, but not really. I went to college, not really knowing what I wanted to get into. I was a music person, into writing a little bit. Had done construction jobs actually as a kid, working at, my mother managed a shopping center where there was odds and ends construction jobs, and I would help out with things. And I remember saying, okay, I gotta go to college so I don't end up in the construction industry. And I ended up going to college, and then back then you would put your resume, you give them to a headhunter. And I happened to call randomly one day to see if there were any openings, and there was an opening for a marketing position at a construction company. And that's how I ended up there. It was just pure luck and just coincidence. But because of my background with construction and everything I used from college, it sort of just helped me in the position. So would have never, back then, didn't know what SMPS was, or had nobody to help, with all this tools we were talking about in this presentation. So that's my story. And I would have benefited from something like this, definitely.
I'll go.
Great, please.
So I grew up in an inner city here in Connecticut. I grew up in New Britain, and single mom. Parents never graduated high school. I don't even think my father made it to high school. So when I graduated high school, it was like, I just need to get a job. Like, college was not something that was discussed in my home. And so I needed to get a job. So I worked probably 3 or 4 jobs, and then I kind of wanted to just have one. And so I applied for the position at this small environmental consulting firm. And they called me in for the interview, and they told me in the interview that they weren't going to hire me. They were like, you don't have experience, so this probably isn't going to work out. And I was like, well, just give me 2 weeks. We'll just see what happens. I didn't really have anything to lose. I would just apply somewhere else, right? So that's it. They gave me 2 weeks, and now 20 years later. So for me, it was, again, this career I didn't even know existed, but there was so much opportunity that I identified within the role. And, you can be so creative. You can use so many of the skills that you probably did. I was a teenager. So I'm coming in with my big hoop earrings, and I'm, talking this and that, and I'm being who I am, and they're not ready for me, but that's what you need. You need that energy. You need that when you're trying to build business, and you're working late and you're working on projects. You need that energy. So it just really was a good fit for me. And I used a lot of my own skills and things that I learned with SMPS, joining them. And, there's a lot of opportunity. There's so many AEC firms where you can go and work here for a few years. You kind of get that experience with construction, and then you get experience with architecture, and you really become this well-rounded marketer. And you learn so much about business and management and finances, and there's still more space for me. I've been doing it 20 years, and I'm ready to go 20 more and get as high as I can. And the opportunities are there. So that's my story, and I'm having a great time.
It sounds like there's so much diversity and opportunity in industry, and ways to apply your skills in your colleagues, in the kinds of organizations that exist to support these industries. Really dynamic. And I can imagine students could learn a lot about more than maybe just an area of interest, but just so many doors open up when if you were to join a networking event or do one of your pathways educational programs. And I think one thing I hear from students is I don't have time, or I'm embarrassed, or I'm not really sure I want to put myself out there. What would you say to the people who are a bit hesitant about putting themselves out there and joining and participating as a student?
See, I would say no, it definitely doesn't hurt to try. You don't have to, it's not something you have to commit to. You can, that's why we kind of pair the students with an advisor, because we understand, like, even for people who've been doing this for a while, it is kind of intimidating coming into a room full of new people, coming into a new organization. So this is why we have that student advisor that can really work with the student one-on-one and kind of slowly figure out what's the best fit for the student. And like I said, if you want to give SMPS a try, you want to see if the AEC industry is for you, this is a great option to that, because you can attend an event, you can meet with your advisor, you can do as much or as little as you feel comfortable with, and really get an understanding of if this is the right fit for you.
You're a very warm and welcoming group. I can't imagine why people wouldn't want to hang out with you either in person or virtually, and hopefully there'll be more in person coming up in the near future. Maybe we can even have you on campus sometime.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's 2022, and so maybe in the coming months we can plan on having you all back in the fall. In the meantime, I'm going to encourage everyone who's watching to take advantage of that QR code. You can also find more information about SMPS on Handshake and other resources on the Career Studio website, or feel free to stop in the Career Studio and Jenga Student Union, ask us about this, and we will connect you with SMPS and their upcoming programming. Thank you all so much for being with us. This was a fantastic webinar, and I think so many people are going to learn a great deal about the ACE industry and all the ways you can become a part of it. So thanks, gang. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.